on Wednesday. Kevin was only 6 and in the first grade and was made much over by everyone, especially by Mrs. Kincaid, Claudia thought. Claudia also thought that he was terribly babied and impossibly spoiled. You could think that her parents would know something about raising children by the time Kevin, their 4th, came along. But their parents hadn't learned. She couldn't remember being anyone's charge when she was in the first grade. Her mother had simply met her at this bus stop every day. Jamie wanted to sit with his buddy Bruce. They played cards on the bus. Each day meant a continuation of the day before. The game was nothing very complicated, Saxonburg. Nothing terribly refined. They played War, that simple game where each player puts down a card and the higher card takes both. If the cards are the same, there is a war which involves putting down more cards. Winner then takes all the war cards. Every night when Bruce got off at his stop, he'd take his stack of cards home with him. Jamie would do the same. They always took a vow not to shuffle. At the stop before Bruce's house, they would stop playing, wrap a rubber band around each pile, hold the stack under each other's chin, and spit on each other's deck, saying, "Thou shalt not shuffle." Then each tapped his deck and put it in his pocket. Claudia found the whole procedure disgusting, so she suffered no feelings of guilt. When she pulled Jamie away from his precious game, Jamie was mad, though. He was in no mood to listen to Claudia. He sat slumped in his seat, with his lips pooched out and his eyebrows pulled down on top of his eyes. He looked like a miniature, clean-shaven Neanderthal man. Claudia didn't say anything. She waited for him to cool off. Jamie spoke first. "Gosh, Claude, why don't you pick on Steve?" Claudia answered, "I thought, Jamie, that you'd see that it's obvious I don't want Steve." "Well," Jamie pleaded, Want him? Claudia had planned her speech. "I want you, Jamie, for the greatest adventure in our lives." Jamie muttered, "Well, I wouldn't mind if you'd pick on someone else." Claudia looked out the window and didn't answer. Jamie said, "As long as you've got me here, tell me." Claudia still said nothing and still looked out the window. Jamie became impatient. "I said, as long as you've got me here, you may as well tell me." Claudia remained silent. Jamie erupted. "What's the matter with you, Claude? First you bust up my card game, and then you don't tell me. It's indecent." "Break up, not bust up. Indecent, not undecent," Claudia corrected. "Oh, baloney, you know what I mean. Now tell me," he demanded. I picked you to accompany me on the greatest adventure of our mutual lives," Claudia repeated. "You said that." He clenched his teeth. "Now tell me." "I've decided to run away from home and I've chosen you to accompany me." "Why pick me? Why not pick Steve?" he asked. Claudia sighed. "I don't want Steve. Steve is one of the things in my life that I'm running away from. I want you." Despite himself, Jamie felt flattered. Flattery is as important as a machine as the lever, isn't it, Saxonburg? Give it a proper place to rest, and it can move the world. It moved Jamie. He stopped thinking, "Why pick on me?" and started thinking, "I am chosen." He sat up in his seat, unzipped his jacket, put one foot up on the seat and placed his hands over his bent knee, and said out of the corner of his mouth, "Okay, Claude, when do we bust out of here? And how?" Claudia stifled the urge to correct his grammar again. "On Wednesday. Here's the plan. Listen carefully." Jamie squinted his eyes and said, "Make it complicated, Claude. I like complications." Claudia laughed. "It's got to be simple to work. We'll go on Wednesday because Wednesday is music lesson day. I'm taking my violin out of its case and I'm packing it full of clothes. You do the same with your trumpet case. Take as much clean underwear as possible and socks and at least one other shirt with you." "All in a trumpet case? I should have taken up bass fiddle." "You can use some of the room in my case. Also use your book bag. Take your transistor radio." "Can I wear sneakers?" Jamie asked. Claudia answered, "Of course. Wearing shoes all the time is one of the tyrannies you'll escape from coming with me." Jamie smiled, and Claudia knew that now was the correct time to ask. She almost managed to sound casual. "And bring all your money." She cleared her throat. By the way, how much money do you have? Jamie put his foot back on the floor, looked out the window, and said, Why do you want to know? For goodness sake, Jamie, if we're in this together, then we're together. I've got to know, how much do you have? Can I trust you not to talk? He asked. Claudia was getting mad. Did I ask you if I could trust you not to talk? She clamped her mouth shut and let out twin whiffs of air through her nostrils. Had she done it any harder or any louder, it would have been called a snort. Well, you see, Claude, Jamie whispered, I have quite a lot of money. Claudia thought that old Jamie would end up being a business tycoon someday, or at least a tax attorney like their grandfather. She said nothing to Jamie. Jamie continued. Claude, don't tell Mom or Dad, but I gamble. I play those card games with Bruce for money. Every Friday we count our cards, and he pays me. 2 cents for every card I have more than he has, and 5 cents for every ace. And I always have more cards than he has, and at least one more ace. Claudia lost all patience. Tell me how much you have. $4? $5? How much? Jamie nuzzled himself further into the corner of the bus seat and sang, $24.43. Claudia gasped, and Jamie, enjoying her reaction, added, Hang around until Friday and I'll make it 25 even. How can you do that? Your allowance is only 25 cents. 24.43 plus 25 cents makes only $24.68. Details never escaped Claudia. I'll win the rest from Bruce. Come on now, James. How can you know on Monday that you'll win on Friday? I just know that I will, he answered. How do you know? I'll never tell. He looked straight at Claudia to see her reaction. She looked puzzled. He smiled, and so did she, for she then felt more certain than ever that she had chosen the correct brother for a partner in escape. They complemented each other perfectly. She was cautious about everything but money, and poor, and he was adventurous about everything but money, and rich. More than $24. That would be quite a nice boodle to put in their knapsacks, if they were using knapsacks instead of instrument cases. She already had $4.18. They would escape in comfort. Jamie waited until she thought, Well, what do you say? Want to wait until Friday? Claudia hesitated, only a minute more before deciding. No, we have to go on Wednesday. I'll write you full details of my plan. You must show the plan to no one. Memorize all the details, then destroy my note. Do I have to eat it? Jamie asked. Tearing it up and putting it in the trash could be much simpler. No one in our family but me ever goes through the trash. And I only do if it is not sloppy and not full of pencil sharpener shavings or ashes. I'll eat it. I like complications, Jamie said. You must also like wood pulp, Jamie said. That's what paper is made of, you know. I know, Jamie answered. They spoke no more until they got off the bus at their stop. Steve got off the bus after Jamie and Claudia. Steve yelled, Claude, it's your turn to take Kevin. I'll tell Mom if you forget. Claudia, who had been walking up ahead with Jamie, stopped short, ran back, grabbed Kevin's hand, and started retracing her steps, pulling him along to the side and slightly behind. I want to talk with Stevie, Kevin cried. That would be just fine with me, Kevin brat, Claudia replied, but today you happen to be my responsibility. Whose responsibility am I next? He asked. Wednesday starts Steve's turn, Claudia answered. I wish I could be Steve's turn every week, Kevin whined. You just may get your wish. Kevin never realized then or ever that he had been given a clue, and he pouted all the way home. And that's chapter 1. I'll be back on tomorrow to read chapter 2.